Welcome to the Nomad Network, your first stop for complete and comprehensive Chicago Bears football coverage. Dive deep into analyses, updates, and all things Bears. Subscribe to our YouTube channel today and never miss a beat. Thank you in advance for your support. We promise to bring you the best because together we're unstoppable. Go Bears.
Yo, no maniacs, super no maniacs. Welcome to another edition of Feed the Bears, man, where I do my job and feed you, the Bears, the best coverage we can give you. Today we are in members only mode, only members. So it's all no maniacs and super no maniacs that should be here in the show. Everybody should be rocking green. Everybody in this thing. So if you can actually see this show, I'm not sure how YouTube works with a members only broadcast, but if you can see this show, and you want to come in here and chime in, you want to talk about the All 22, which we'll be doing here in a short minute, all you got to do is go to the YouTube channel, the Nomad Network YouTube channel, go and join and get yourself a membership. It's only $1. Easy peasy. Grab your membership and jump on in here, man. We want you in here. We want you to be a part of this community. Made it as easy as we could. It's only $1 a month for a subscription. So who can't afford that? So let me say, last night was really tough. Thank everybody for being here who I see so far, right quick. Crimson #1 up in here. Shout out to Crimson. Then we got Cloud Chasers in here. First two in the chat, man. But listen, last night was rough. When I say rough for me, shout out to Ralph Love, just became a new member. That's what I'm talking about, Ralph. We got you covered, man. This is going to be a good show, man. We're going to cover some of this All 22 and we're going to get to the good parts of the game, some of the stuff that was more positive. I don't want to come in here and it be sound like I'm just jumping down Caleb's neck, but we are going to detail what the hell happened last night in the passing game with him and why he was so, on and off last night. I got a few plays that I wanted to point out about that, but we got to talk about some other guys first. But thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the community, Ralph, man. We're going to have a good time with this. But I wanted to talk about last night was man, I've got a bad sinus infection, you guys. And when I say it's bad, it's bad. The pressure was so horrible last night. And I took some medicine before the show, but it didn't seem like it kicked in until like 2 hours or so into the show, man. And it was rough on me last night. So I'm dealing with that. I'm upset because of the way the game is going, especially in the second half. All that stuff just kind of turned me into a volcano last night. I was really upset. And it shouldn't have been like that, man. After reviewing some of this film, I still haven't gone through each and every play. But while I got time, because shout out to Kez, he's doing his show at 6 p.m. Central. I'm going to probably be on that show and producing it at the same time. So this is like the perfect time to get in here and get some of the All 22. And I might have to do another one another day just to get some more of that film in. But we'll get about a handful of plays or so. We'll break those down. But yeah, man, Kez, don't forget, any of you guys that are in here right now, please, when this is over later on at 6 Central, please jump on into Kez's over to Kez's channel and do his Super Flex show with him, his fantasy show. It's gonna be fun. So we got that going on. Let me read some more in the chat before we get going. Shout out to Joseph Archer that just busted up in here. Let me see who else we got new. But yeah, welcome in, Ralph, man. We appreciate you, dog. Let me get going. First thing I want to do is give a shout out to some of the really good stuff that I've seen, some players that I saw that were really good so far, looking at them on tape. Let me pull up a player or two here. We'll start with the good stuff, man. We're going to start with the goody good. That's what we're going to do. Then we get to the ugly later. So a guy definitely needs to be pointed out right now, and that is Braxton Jones. Braxton Jones, let me tell you guys this right now. There was a lot of speculation, a whole lot of, and I'm going to include myself in this conversation because I wasn't too flattering when it came to Braxton Jones conversation this offseason. And I was on the table saying that we probably do need to draft a left tackle. I was there. What Braxton Jones had shown me up to this point was he doesn't have a consistent enough anchor to be a down in and down out starting left tackle. That was just my take on the entire thing. And the more and more I'm watching Braxton Jones play, when I'm talking about including the preseason and the game last night, he's starting to prove me wrong. And he did get a couple of chips over there, and they should. You got to help him out sometimes. Even Darnell Wright got a chip or two his way. But I think Braxton Jones had a stellar game last night. I don't know if it really shows up on the. I'll try to. I guess when we do some of the Caleb plays, you'll get to see some of that. And we'll point some of it out when we get to the video. But Braxton Jones was excellent. Not only him, I didn't have time to get a graphic for Darnell, but Darnell was excellent too. Darnell Wright was absolutely stellar. He was locked down, got a couple of bad penalties go his way. Even on film, it's just like, man, what kind of sense did that shit make? But he had a stellar game. The tackles were excellent. Braxton Jones and Darnell Wright were excellent last night. And I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that. Both of them locked down their jobs and their assignments. You know what's worse than this is the bad thing about it is we talked all offseason about how much more improved the interior of the offensive line was going to be, and we were worried about the tackles. It was exactly the opposite during this game. Exactly the opposite. The interior guys had way more problems than the tackles. That was crazy. That was crazy. I'm talking about Tooney. I'm talking about Dahlman, and I'm talking about Jonah Jackson, who we'll get into some of the reasons why he was so jumpy last night too. But we'll get into that in a minute. Let me put up a couple of chats. Shout out to Derek Goddard just jumping in here. Who else we got here? Dobie46, shout out to you. He said, when everything comes together for this team, everybody that's been talking shit will eat their words. We just hope it does come together. We just hope. Let me see. I don't know who was saying what in the so I'm gonna read what's inside the chat. Dobie says, going to that post-game press conference, the comments in there were homophobic and racist. I don't know, man. That's why I kind of stay away from that, Dobie. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I stay away from any of the pressers, the chat rooms and the pressers. I stay away from that kind of stuff because it's absolutely like a den for straight up, I don't know what you want to call them people, man, but the negativity is so bad. My energy is different than that, man. I can't waste my good energy arguing with fools in the chat, man. I don't even know why people pay attention to that. And the fact that they don't have moderators, being one of 32 teams in the league, you got plenty of money to pay a moderator to get some of that racism out of there. I know what you're talking about. It's awful. Homophobic stuff, all that kind of stuff in the chat, man. I can't stand that stuff. We don't put up with it around here, but I can't control that. Paul Rodriguez, shout out to you. No, Tooney wasn't bad, but what I was pointing out was the interior guys had more of a problem last night when it came to run blocking and that kind of thing. He wasn't good when it came to that. I'll just say that neither were any of the interior guys. They weren't very good at opening up lanes and making space for the running back to run to. Shoot, DeAndre Swift, before he can even make a move and get upfield, somebody was smacking him. He had people around his legs. It was just not good. I don't blame DeAndre Swift for any of that. I expected it to be better. I'm telling you, the interior of the offensive line wasn't as good, and I'm talking about in the run game. Now, in pass pro, completely different story. They were decent. They were decent. They weren't perfect, but they were decent. Let me get to a couple more comments. Shout out to Mike. My guy Mike became a member. That's what I'm talking about, Mike. I just got through. He just emailed me not long ago, and I just responded to it right before we came on the show, too. He was, man, yeah, I was feeling rough last night, Mike, man. And I feel a whole lot better. My girlfriend went and got me some medicine, man, and I'm starting to feel a whole lot better. Just started a round of antibiotics, which I have to take throughout the week and finish that. Get this sinus infection behind me, man, because it's rough. But thank you for becoming a member, Mike. We appreciate you. You was already a bro. Now you're really a bro. Welcome to the community that way. Let me see. Crimson says Swift needs to be riding the pine. He stinks. I can't blame him for that. I really can't, man. We'll have to do a separate breakdown of what that offensive line looked like in the run game and just focus on it. But because when you see it, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. They just didn't do a good job of opening up lanes for him, man. I can't blame him for that. Paul says Vikings defense is a tough assignment. Got to give credit to them. Yeah, you got to. You got to. Cloud Chaser says all the interior line was hot garbage last night. I mean, it wasn't good, man. All right, keep the new memberships coming, man. Let's get to a couple other players that really stuck out to me. The safeties. The safeties, man. They were Jaquan was stellar, Byard was stellar, and I expected them to be. And one thing I will point out about Byard, there was a play where it looked like Noah Sewell got burned, and I do believe on that play there might have been a miscommunication, and it just looked like Noah Sewell. I looked at that play a couple times before we got in here, and I think that maybe Byard was supposed to be on top. I'm not sure. I'm just assuming. I'm not trying to, take nothing away from. I'm not trying to get the blame away from Noah Sewell. That's not it. But the way the play looked to me, it looked like he was expecting some help over the top. I know one thing: he shouldn't have had to carry that running back all the way that far down the field. I know that. Would you had a safety back there? So what makes sense to me was he was supposed to have some kind of cover over the top of him, and it wasn't there. That's just. That's the only bad I can give to perceived bad I can give to Kevin Byard. Other than that, man, he was spectacular, and so was Jaquan Brisker. How do you know that? It's because sometimes it's the plays that don't happen. It's the plays that don't happen that people forget. Like it's a lot of throws that might have should have been thrown and caught, but they wasn't thrown because you had good safety play back there. Sometimes it's the plays that don't happen. All most of the time, that's a credit to either the safeties or a linebacker in coverage somewhere. 9 times out of 10, those big plays don't happen because the safeties are in good position. And both of those guys were on point all night long. I think the defense kind of struggled towards the end because they were just out there too long. But shout out to Kevin Byard and Jaquan Brisker. Both played stellar games last night, man. You got to give them their props last night. Let me see. Get to another one. Well, we won't get to that yet. Of course, my boy Noah Sewell. Man, look, I don't even know. The fact that they did exactly what I thought they would do and give Noah Sewell the green dot with not having TJ out there, I think that was a really, really smart move because you could have easily, Dennis Allen could have easily decided that, you know what, we could just, since Tremaine took all the middle linebacker reps since he's been here, it's a natural instinct for him to probably defer to the guy that has got some veteran experience, being Tremaine Edmonds. But he was confident in the fact that, hey, Noel's played this all preseason. He's played it well. I got confidence in him. Tremaine's been taking Will linebacker reps and Mike linebacker reps the entire preseason. Let's have some confidence in this kid and give him the job. And he called a good game on defense, man. Again, Noah Sewell giving credit to the fact that they broke down later on in the game, like late third quarter, early fourth quarter. They just was on the field way too much because the offense was missing too many opportunities to move the chains. And I don't care how good your defense is. I don't care how good the players in it are. If you're on the field too much, it's going to show later on in the game. No matter, I don't care what the defense is, how good it could be that Ravens defense. And when they're on the field too much, it's going to show up. Period, point blank. And you saw either they broke down. But all that aside, Noah Sewell had a great game last night. A really good game. Tackling machine, a physical presence. Impact player on the defense all night long. And after everybody and their mama was just like, hey, what are we going to do with this guy? He's been here 3 years now, going on the third year now. What are we going to get out of this guy? Do we even need him? Do we need to just cut him and move on and get somebody else? Let's put Hippolyte in the game. He shut all that down last night. Noah Sewell shut it all down. And so I'm proud to say, we called this ahead of time over here on the network. We felt like this guy was going to be a great fit and a great piece to have. We felt like Dennis Allen would really love his playing style, and it showed last night. That physicality, it was through the roof. It was through the roof all night long. So I just wanted to give him his flowers. Noah Sewell played the hell of a game last night, and I hope he gets more opportunities. And I got a feeling, based on some of the stuff I'm hearing, I don't know how long it's going to be before TJ is back in the fold. But I know he tried to go last night, but it's a hamstring injury, and you just don't know. You just don't know. Let me jump back in the chat right quick, see who's saying what. Let me see here. Paul Rodriguez says Bayer has some bad run fits. I thought he should have come into the alley without pulling up late. Trust yourself, take the angle. He let some runs get past him. I know you're mostly talking about later on in the game. I know what you're talking about. I just haven't gotten that far down, the rabbit hole as far as this all 22 goes. I know that's what you're talking about. Let me see. Yeah, true that, Crimson. Imagine what it's going to look like when we get the 3 key starters back. Missing, TJ, who was it, Kyler, and who else? It's another key player missing. TJ, Kyler, and Jalen. Yep. You're welcome, man. Let me see. All right. Let me get to another guy. Dio. What a monster he was last night, y'all. I mean, I don't know I think once the preseason started, once the actual preseason game started, and I think the fan base was expecting him to be have more of a flash in the preseason and do some things and give him a reason to be excited about him. And he did none of that. He saved it. He's like, what am I going to go out here and go crazy in the preseason for? I know what I can do. The fans talking shit about me. They don't know why they paid me and all this kind of stuff. You could tell he took mental notes coming into this game, couldn't you? You could tell he took that shit personal because he was all over those tackles, man, all over them, all night. And so you want to talk about a guy, let's just say, I think we had a slight conversation about this during the show last night. I was like, if I want to say who's a player of this game, it's going to be hard for me not to want to go Noah Sewell, but I had to give it to Dio. I got to give it to Dio because his game was stellar. He was an impact. And I seen one particular play where he kind of, in his run fit one time, he didn't, let's just say he didn't stay long enough or take the right angle to keep, I think, JJ McCarthy from spilling out and getting a couple of yards on a wide run. Man, that was a mistake. But if you want to be petty and picky, you can find shit like that to discuss, man. But I thought overall, Dio Odingbo played a whale of a football game last night, man. And I think there's way more to that coming. I don't think it's a one-off. I think that's coming every single game. That's just the way I saw it on film in Indy. He didn't end up all of those good reps that I saw in Indy, like I saw last night, didn't end up in sacks. But you could see his impact on the game, could you not? So sometimes it's not always about how does a rep like that, a really good rep like that, does it always need to end up in a sack? No, it doesn't. How did you affect the quarterback? And he got that quarterback moving. He got him unsteady back there. You had to account for Dio Odingbo. He did his damn job last night. That's what happened. And so shout out to Dio Odingbo. Hell of a game last night. And, I think he's just scratching the surface here in Chicago. I think we're going to see a lot more of that moving forward. I don't think just the way he played last night, I don't think that's a one-off. That's Dio Odingbo. That's the Dio Odingbo I saw on film in Indy. That's the Dio Odingbo. That's the reason why they signed him to all that money. So let me look in the chat real quick before we get out of there. Yes, he was a beast, bro. And Sweat was looking good too, man. A lot of his plays were kind of like Dio. It was like if it doesn't end up in a sack, people that look at the stat box, they're just like, what did he do last night? You got to look at the entirety of how that play played out. It was plenty of times I've seen flushing stuff out of the pocket, plenty of times when I've seen the pressure, plenty of time when I've seen him set great edges in the run game. And what didn't happen in the run game, most of the game was largely due because Montez Sweat and Dio Odingbo were setting great edges. They really wanted to get on us on the edge and get wide zone really going on us and cooking, but they could not. They could not, and largely due to these two guys, Dio Dingbo and Montez Sweat. They both played pretty good games. Just the results that you're looking for may not show in the stat box, though. All right. Let me see. We got one more to get to, but we'll get to that after the video, man. Let's look at some of this film. Pull this down, share my screen. All right, let me see. All right, we got a little playlist right here. We'll start with this one. This is in the second quarter, 10:47 on the clock. This is when it really started to kind of come unravel for Caleb Williams. This is, like, to me, the first play that was an indicator of, all right, this ain't so good, man. He's getting a little antsy back there, and you start to see a different Caleb Williams. So it's a 2nd and 14 at the Minnesota 35. Let's get into the play. Wait a minute. Let me get up there. All right, give me a second, y'all. Let me open up the screen. I'm going to jump into the studio real quick to make sure you guys can see it pretty big. All right. That's the biggest I can get it, y'all. Let me get back in there. All right. Let's see what happens here. Right here, you watch it's a pretty good pass protection here. Only problem in this pass protection, in this play, you'll see Joe Thuney kind of misses the game. So it was a stunt, almost like a pick stunt run for the linebacker. You'll see him on a delayed stunt coming in here. Watch the left side. We'll pause in here so you can really see it. Boom. All right. You see right away, Joe Thuney sees him. But Joe Thuney, all of a sudden, let's just let it play out. That was a pick stunt. That's called a pick stunt right there. Let me go back a little bit more so you can see exactly what happened here. Pull it back a little bit more. This is called a pick stunt. When you see this guy right here kind of wall off the interior guy so the other guy can get around him, watch and see what happens. Watch him seal him off. Right there. Just so number 0 can come around and get in this hole. But right here, you can also see this is a right to left read. So you could see right off the snap, Caleb was looking to this side. And so he's looking for that tight end right here. He's looking for Rome to come open over in this area somewhere. And right away, you see that linebacker's right there on top of Cole Kmet. That's probably his first read. The second read was probably this to Rome. He's coming over in this area right here, which kind of comes open. If he could have probably threw it, but I can see why he didn't. It's a lot of traffic over here. And quickly, here comes OZ getting ready to come across here. But right away, Caleb doesn't even see this yet. But right now, you know that this is not going to be open, that linebacker is going to pick this up. And so once he gets to like the 4th and 5th read, if he wants to look at DJ going down the field, he gets open down here, but it's kind of late. You'll see what I'm talking about. But the play that Caleb is supposed to make is right here. Is right here. The drop off to DeAndre Swift. And you'll see what I'm talking about. Once 0 comes around here in this hole and kind of flushes him out, Caleb goes this way, and he completely didn't keep his head up and missed DeAndre Swift on the easy dump off right here. You got to drop the mail off. Watch this. Look at him. Wide open. Look at all that space out there. Look at all the space. You got to get rid of that ball right now. There's nobody in this vicinity, man. In fact, you got a blocker right here. You got a blocker right here. He catches that ball, and he's up this field for about 15 yards before he's even touched. You got to drop this off. This is when Caleb gets a little frantic. Still picked up some positive yards, but it didn't turn out to be what you wanted it to be. Let's look at it from another angle. You can see, you'll be able to see Joe Thuney get kind of jammed up in here with the center. You'll see it. Right there. Right there. So really, is it Joe Thuney's fault? He's the outside guy, or is it Drew Dorman that was supposed to pick this up? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's supposed to be Drew Dorman that gets off of this right here and picks up this stunt. Maybe that's exactly what's supposed to be happening here. And he gets into Caleb's face. Caleb's flushed out of there, makes him run around here. So this is probably the key to why this play didn't work well. Obviously, it's Drew Dorman, right? Let me get in the chat real quick and see who's saying what. Let me see. Yeah, Crimson. He says lots of little things that lost us this game. Death by 1,000 paper cuts. Yeah, you're right about that. Yes, I think Dahlman did miss his. He's supposed to get off that block right there and make sure he was there for that game. Yeah, no doubt about it. Now looking at it now, I believe that's exactly what's supposed to happen. All right, let's get into some more. Let this play out. DeAndre Swift just wide ass open over there. DJ's wide open. Look at that. Let the ball go, man. Let the ball go. All right, let's get to another play. Give me a second, y'all. I'm going to find the next play. All right. Okay. This is one of those oh shit. Let me refresh this. I hate when this thing does that. Excuse me. Let me get down here to find the play. Give me a second. First of all, we in the wrong quarter. Okay. All right, here's the play right here. Let me open the screen up a little bit. Okay. This is some of the, you know what, man, I got to be careful what I say here, because sometimes it's you I said this last night, and it's something between DJ Moore and Caleb Williams is a miss, man, to me. I mean, if you really love your teammate, what you're about to see right now doesn't happen. What you're about to see right now doesn't happen. He just threw him a medicine ball. Watch this. Ain't no way you throw him this ball like this. Right there is when you. Let me rewind it a little bit. Either this dude ain't seeing shit the way he's supposed to see it, or he don't like DJ Moore. Look at this. Threw him right into the traffic. Bam. You're going to get hurt. Look, and it's an errant throw to begin with, too. Let's just say he throws that ball low and away. You might have a completion there. You don't throw that ball into this area. You definitely don't throw that ball into this area. Not when, no. You got this guy coming over the top. You got this guy coming underneath. You definitely don't throw that ball right there. You definitely don't. That should be a low and away throw over in this area somewhere. Somewhere he can come back and get the ball that way. This is not cool right here. Just threw him right into the traffic, man. But maybe we can look at some of the good pass pro here. Watch the good pass pro. Look at Darnell Wright getting a chip over and some help with the tight end. Let's see how Braxton Jones did on this play. He's pretty good. Interior was there. There was no reason for this ball to be thrown off like that. None whatsoever. That's kind of that's I would just say a semi layup throw. This is supposed to be pretty easy. It's a pitch and catch. Boom. Why is that ball way over there? I'm gonna show you where this ball should have been. Right now is when you want to start throwing this ball. Right about now, you on your back foot. Now you release it. That's anticipatory. He's about to round that linebacker and get right open into that hole. Throw it low so he doesn't get tagged. Watch. Look, what is he doing throwing that ball way over there? Right into the heat. It's ridiculous. What's he supposed to do there? All right, let's get to another play, man. Before I get pissed off again. Kind of shit does piss me off. Let's get to another play. All right, let me get down here. And I think that was a 4th and 3. Second quarter, 8:58 on the clock. That was a 4th and 3. Gotta have those. All right. Check this one out. This one is supposed to go to Rome. Wide ass open. When I say wide ass open, you're about to see what I'm talking about. Good pass pro. Let's see what happens here. Rome's lined up wide to the right here. See my cursor? Watch what happened. Caleb's on the center. Something about him being on the center, man, done job well with him. For whatever reason, his feet seem to be perfectly fine here. He dropped back and did it in rhythm on time. It's just the ball comes out errant. Watch the drop. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Plant. Watch him coming back. Easy throw, pitch and catch. You got to throw the ball right now. Waited too long. And look where the ball ends up. How don't you make that throw? It's a one-read throw. You got one-on-one on the outside. All you got to do is be in symmetry with your feet, throw that ball where it needs to go. Let's look at it again. It's just some bullshit, dog. I'm telling y'all. Straight bullshit. He's supposed to be better than this at this point. Look at this. Throw it. He throws this thing all the way out of bounds. Let's look at it from another angle, which we won't be able to see a whole lot more. But let's see. It's a 7-step drop, it appears to be. Good pass pro again. Let's stop and look at the pass pro before the throw. Nicely done. Everybody has their assignments. Everybody's exactly where they need to be. Darnell Wright's forcing his man, forcing him wide away from the quarterback, exactly what he's supposed to be doing. Quarterback steps up, plants his feet. Oh, the ball got hit. Look at me talking all that shit and the ball got hit. All right, let's get to the next play. Let me jump in the chat right quick. Yeah, the ball got hit on that one, y'all. I should have seen that. All right, let me jump back in here and get another play. Some of this stuff don't make no sense, man. Let's see what happened. All right, let's go to the next set of plays. See what we got going on. Let me see. Let's look at this scramble play. Let's see what happened. I have no idea. I'm watching this stuff for the first time right with y'all. This stuff anyway. This second half stuff. First time. Let's see what happens here. Got twins over here. Here comes a motion guy. Got two receivers over here. You got OZ. You got what looks like Cole Kmet or somebody. See what we do here. Nice pocket. Nice pocket. How you draw it up. Let's see what happens here. Wide open Cole Kmet. Right there. DJ about to break wide open right over here. You see him going out. He's about to sit down over here probably. But wide open right here is Cole Kmet. Why you ain't throwing the ball right now, I have no idea. And what does he do? Default Caleb Williams. That's default Caleb Williams not seeing the fucking field like he's supposed to. He's just not seeing it. Let me show you again. I'm not here to pick on him, y'all. I just want y'all to be clear about that. I'm not here to pick on Caleb Williams. But you want to know why things aren't going the way they should be going. Sometimes it's very, just like what Crimson said early, death by 1,000 paper cuts. These are the little paper cuts right here. You got to get rid of that rot, man. He missed layup after layup after layup last night, opportunity after opportunity. And you wonder, is he really seeing this field the way he's supposed to? How could he not see Cole Kmet down here in this area? How? I don't know. Step up into the pocket and deliver the rock. Instead, run. He ends up making hay with it, but shouldn't have had to. Let's see it from another angle. End zone view. Watch Cole Kmet over here about to break open. Right there. He sees him. It's right over here. Throw it. Still got a clean pocket. Now he's a little nervous. All right, let's get to him. Let's look at one or two more plays, and I'll be done with this because I'm about to get pissed off again. I don't like being pissed off. Let me see. Find another play. Man, all those penalties in here. Y'all be patient with me. I'm trying to find another play. I have no idea what that is. Let me see. Let's see this one. This is supposed to go to DJ Moore, I think. Let's see what happens on this play. First, let's see where DJ is. That looks like DJ up here. But we'll see. Let's play this for a second. What the fuck? What the hell was that? Oh, hell. That wasn't supposed to go to DJ Moore. I think that was to DeAndre Swift. Oh. That was a little too late on that one. That's the wrong play. But we'll look at it again since we're here. He was just a little late on his read getting over to the dump off. You're going to throw it now. Just bad. That's not the right play, though, y'all. Let me get to another one. Let's see about this one, Cole Kmet. Let's see what happens. Hold on, you all. My mouse is going dead on me. All right, here we go. Okay, where's Cole Kmet? This is probably Cole right here. It's one of these two guys. This might be Loveland here. Find out in a second. Yeah, I think this is Loveland. I think Cole Kmet is lined up on the line of scrimmage right here. See what happens here. Under center again. Okay, let's see what else happened on this play. Let's see if people got open on this play and he just didn't read it. Saw a lot of that. That's Luther Burden in motion. Watch this guy right here. It's one of the tight ends. Okay. You can see why he didn't throw that there, man, because the linebacker was sitting down right underneath him. Under coverage over here. The running back is back here trying to help out with pass pro. Linemen are set up pretty good, but this is really the only option he has here. I don't really blame Caleb too much for this one. He's just a little late getting there. That's the only problem here. Is just he was just a little late getting from these reads over here to this over here. It was just a little late. I'll show you one more time. No reason. I mean, there's you can't really blame the quarterback on this one. This is just wasn't a whole lot there, but you do have to get over to that last read earlier than you did. See, Cole, if he gets that to him right now, he stands a chance to grab this ball and at least get a few yards over in this area somewhere. It wouldn't be much, but this is when the ball's supposed to come out if it's going to be to Cole Kmet. But it's too late. It's way too late. All right, let me look at a couple more plays. We find some other stuff here. I hope y'all enjoying this, man. It's the best thing. This is what I can do for the members, man, that show us so much love, man. This is one thing that I can do for you all. And thank you all for what you do for us. It's one little thing I can do. Okay, let's see this pass to OZ. All right, let's bring it down here. All right, so watch OZ. He is right up here, top right. In motion, coming across the field. I have no idea how he misses that. I have no idea. How these are professional quarterback level is what they call layups. You don't miss these. Just rudimentary check 1, 2, drop the ball off to the drag guy. That's it. You can't be missing these. Matter of fact, let me see what the down and distance is and where we at in the game. We are in the third quarter, the beginning of the third quarter, 14:44 on the clock. It's 3rd and 10. And let's see what he does with this. If he hits him on his outside shoulder, he can catch that and run up here and get the first down. Just, oh my God. I'll be in the chat in just 1 second, y'all. Kind of shit that irritates me, man. Can't be missing layups like this, man. See about his feet here. He wasn't rushed. That's just an errant throw, bro. Errant throw. It's an NFL quarterback. You got to hit that, man. What are you? Let me jump in the chat right quick. Maybe y'all make me feel a little better or something. Yeah, man. Holy shit, man. I'm gonna. Ooh. Yeah, he definitely needs more repetition under center, but I don't think he likes it, man. We're gonna talk about that when we get done with the all 22 here, Dobie. It's just man, oh man. All right, let me find a couple more plays, man. I guess why not? Let's see here. Excuse my background, y'all. Let me see. Let's see this pass to Luther Burden here. I don't remember this play, but we're gonna watch it together again. How about that? So here's Luther Burden down here in the bottom with the orange cleats on. Let's see what happens here. Put him in motion. Oh, that's a completion. That was it. Another thing I want to talk about too is when you get to this point in the game, let's see what the score is again. We probably still you get to this point in the game, we're up 17-6. It's kind of understandable that you would be, you basically trying to more or less use a screen game as your running game. You're not being that successful on the ground because they ain't getting it blocked up on the interior. And so you want to turn to more of your screen. Sometimes, man, it could be the screen game. If you do too many of them, it's truly an indicator that an offensive coordinator isn't that confident in his quarterback going down the field. It's just the truth. Sometimes you see too many of those when it's obvious. I don't know if Caleb Williams shouldn't have checked out of this. Let's see this again. I don't know that he shouldn't have checked out of this. Hold on, let me get the screen back right. That's a lot of it's a lot of traffic over there and not enough people to block him. Look at the look who's blocking. You got Darnell Wright on this guy. You got Cole Kmet possibly on this guy. This dude is going to flow that way, and this dude is wide ass open. Let's see how it plays out. So it ends up being, I don't know what Darnell Wright's doing right here, but you probably should have checked out of this play. Probably should have checked out of that. Darnell Wright didn't hold his block long enough on that too. Let's see if he even got to him. It's a hesitation. Now he's supposedly supposed to be getting out here to get this guy. So the linebacker's alignment probably prevented that block on him right here. Look at this. Look at this again. So Darnell Wright fakes like he's going this way on a block on him, and he wheels out to try to pick off number 43 to try to break this play open. Watch what happens. Just wasn't enough time for him to get to him. There you go. I don't know if that's poor design or he should have checked out of that play. I'm not sure, but not good looking. You know that. Not good looking at all. Let's see about this one. I didn't monetize this show, y'all, so we can probably watch as much of this as we want to. Just for y'all, man. Didn't monetize it so we can look at some of this film. All right, let's see what happens here. I think he's going to, let me see. Let me double check to make sure who we're supposed to be looking at here. So, okay, it's going to Zacchaeus, OZ. See where OZ is, right up top. Let's see what happens here. It's a short pass. That's all I know. Wait a minute. This better not be the same play. That's another this is a different play, y'all. Short hopped it again. It's not the same play. It probably looks like it, but it ain't. Let's look at it again. Shotgun. Decent looking protection. There's a hole. Getting rid of it. You got to get rid of the ball now, sir. And just off. Oh, man. Look at it from another view. Yeah, I don't get none of that, man. The dude's got plenty of arm strength, and I don't understand it. Let me pause this right quick. Get to the next play. Let's get it. Let me go back up here. Let's see what happens on this play. This is a scramble by Caleb. Just to see what happened. I'm glad y'all watching this stuff in real time with me. Watching this stuff for the first time. On the center again. Play action. Let's see who's breaking open. One of these two guys are going to be wide ass open, guaranteed. Swift is covered right here. Looks like Colson Loveland up there is covered. Let's see what happens. Right there. Hold on. This probably should have gone deep. Let's go back and look at that again. Probably should have ripped this one. Let's see why he didn't. I'm gonna focus on Caleb. Step up. Oop. All right, let me look at that one more time and see how that played out. Let's see. See, right now, ball might, if he knows what Rome is doing before this guy gets up the field and gets at him. And you can back it up a little bit. So you can throw this ball early because you know exactly where Rome is going to be at the right time. Instead of DJ, this probably should have went to Rome. All right. Let me show you when Rome breaks up. Now you got to get ready to throw it because he's in his break right now. Right now, you see Rome right here stemming his route. He's looking directly at this area right here. He knows Rome is about to stem this route. You got to cock and throw this thing. You got to cock and throw it. But, you saw the safety jump. Maybe the safety threw him off. Maybe the safety jumping down here threw him off. But to me, if you throw that ball on time, that safety has no shot at getting to this area. Gonna be a bang bang play, but at least you got the completion. But maybe the safety is just scaring him off this play. Let me look in the chat real quick. Let me see. Crimson said he's on his way home to watch the tape. All right, let's look at it a little more. That play, I can kind of, wait a minute. I'll give him a pass for that one, I guess. End up scrambling, getting some positive yards out of it. Throw it. Yeah, I'm blaming him for that one. The guy was stemming his route. You had a chance to get rid of that motherfucker, man. He's already stemming. Watch. Rome over here. Drop. Feet in the ground. Now, this is the perfect place to pause the video. See where his feet are? That's his plant foot right here. Here's Rome stemming that route. Now the ball is supposed to be out of the hands before Rome even turns around. That's an anticipatory throw. And you get it out of your hands, you're going to get cracked in the mouth. No question about that. You're going to get hit dead in your mouth, but you got that ball out. There's a completion right there. You just got to throw it. he held and hesitated a little too long. A little too long. Let's get to something else. How long have we been in this damn thing? I got to get ready to get out and get ready for kids to show. We'll do a couple more minutes before we bounce. Ralph Love says, "No man, bro. I hope Ben and his staff is showing him this now." Oh yeah, they're in the building watching this shit right now. Best believe it, they're watching it, breaking it down right now, or they did it this morning. One of the two. Hey, shout out to King Booker World just coming up in here. He says Kayla's got to hit those game breaker throws. Man, all he had to do on that one that we just watched was get rid of the ball on time. When his back foot hit, like that pause I showed you all, that's when his back foot hit. He's simultaneously supposed to be raising that arm to throw that ball. Instead, he hitches and waits and allows that defender to get in his face, and now you got to do something else. So that's just, man. It should be better than this by now, but I ain't gonna destroy him here. I'm just pointing stuff out as to why things ain't going right. It's little things like that, little things just like that. Let me see, where's the next play? Let me see. Let's see what happened on this play with Cole Kmet. We're gonna do this last one, man. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get ready for kids to show y'all. Don't forget, man. Anybody that has time, man, make sure you go to Kids Canucks channel, Kids the Canucks channel, and join that fantasy show, man. We'd love to see you guys in there. Please show them some love. Be over there doing that at 6 Central. All right, let's see what happens here. I think the ball is supposed to go. Let me see. Oh, yeah, Cole Kmet. So where's Cole? That's Cole right here down at the bottom left. 2 tight ends to the left. See what happens. Again, throw the ball. How you missed this one? That's easy pitch and catch, man. Perfectly designed little angle route. That's what we call it. It's an angle route. You kind of fade and feint out, and you're going to cut it back in across the middle of the defense. It's like a funky post is basically what it is, a funky post. Let's see what happens again. Right there. The ball should have been gone. If it was gone on time, Cole Kmet isn't chasing that ball. If it's gone on time, he can kind of sit down there in that hole, and he'll have to go after the ball. That ball is thrown way too far out of his reach. Tell you when he's supposed to, right now. That ball, he's supposed to sit it right there on him right now. Instead, he throws the ball over in this area, and Cole Kmet has to go chase it. Ridiculous. Come on, man. You see it even better here. Right now. Why is that ball that far up and passing? You sit that ball right there on him. Oh my goodness, man. All right, that's it, man. We'll come back and watch some more of this stuff later. I do have to get out of here and get in the kids' show, man. Ralph says just like Justin and Mitch all over again. I hope not, man. I don't know if I could take that shit, man. Not no more, man. All right, let me pull this up, man. We're gonna have a little conversation before we get out of here. Let me get this off the screen. I'll try to do some more of this all 22. Maybe we'll focus on some of the stuff on defense. You know, we'll do some more of the stuff for the members, man. I'll just have to get in here and get it done. But let's talk about number 18 for a minute. And tell you the truth, man, I don't want to do what it seems like the fan base is doing to him right now. I'm not And I'm pretty sure it's a lot of people that just because I wanted them to keep Justin Fields, they thought I was going to be unfair to Caleb Williams. I bet there's a lot of people sitting around waiting, like, oh, he's waiting for his opportunity. No. The minute he became the number one quarterback, and they didn't do what I was hoping they was going to do, which is keep Justin and take the haul in the trade, this became my guy. He became everybody's guy. And the truth about it is, as a fan, I don't. It does. I'm. It's indifferent to me about who's running the show, who's right, who's wrong. I don't care. I don't care about any of that shit. What I'm in this thing for is to see this team get over the top. I just want to see them get over the top. However they get there, whoever's running the quarterback, whoever the fucking coach is, I don't care. I do not care. But it's a lot of people out there that's been waiting for opportunities to pounce on this cat. And I'm not going to do that. But what I did do was to make sure everybody wants to know, all you subscribers, all you members of the channel, people left that game wondering what the F happened, man. What happened? And what I did today was to make sure that people got a good glimpse of what I see behind the scenes most of the time by myself. And I come on podcasts to tell you all. Instead of doing that, I brought you in here to see it. It was clear and obvious this game could have and should have been won. What broke down was 18 broke down. True facts of the matter. He broke down yesterday. He shut down yesterday. I don't think, to be honest with you, as I go back into this tape a little bit more tonight, I got a sense that he did not like being under center. And that's where the wonkiness came from. It's under center that he really rejects having to be under center. He would rather, he's much more in his comfort zone in shotgun and just basically playing backyard football. Let me find an open receiver. I'll throw it. If I can't, I'll run it. That's what he's more comfortable doing. Ben Johnson is breaking him down so that he can build him back up. Caleb Williams is not really receiving that right now. What was worse about everything, I can take the bad game, first game of the season. I can handle that. But what I did not like and what really gives me pause and alarm is the body language last night. The body language was, to me, I look at football. It's just like you can turn off the volume. All I need to see is a visual. I don't need to hear commentators. Most of the time I'm doing that when I'm doing it by myself. I'm just watching the game, watching body language, watching tempo, watching momentum, again, which we lost last night. And the reason being is because Caleb Williams went into default Caleb Williams last night. He didn't stay true to his fundamentals, his technique, didn't trust his feet, didn't like being under center, and he was just off timing. And after a couple bad throws and a couple bad experiences on a couple reps, he just detached himself from it. And you can tell by the way he looked when he was on the sidelines. You can tell that Ben Johnson knew that he was becoming disconnected. And he wanted to say something, but there was a live audience out there. And to me, that's what broke down last night. That's what broke down. He became unglued and got away from what he's supposed to be doing. I'd say he went to default Caleb Williams. What is default Caleb Williams? USC Caleb Williams. Running when you don't have to be running. When you got a perfectly fine pocket. When you got open receivers and you're not seeing them. That's default Caleb Williams. In order for this to work, and I'm talking about this relationship, this marriage between Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson, it's got to be Caleb Williams being disciplined with his feet and his eyes and throwing that ball on time. Otherwise, it will not work. Just telling you guys right now, it ain't going to be no, okay, we need to start doing more with Caleb. No. You brought Ben Johnson in here to run that offense and be the number one offense in the league like he was in Detroit. And if you want to do that, if that's what you want, then you got to allow that man to run this offense the way he sees fit. Truth about it is, this is probably something I shouldn't say, but this might actually end up being the case. And if it is, it's okay. Question is Caleb Williams the right quarterback for Ben Johnson? That's the question. Can he get Caleb Williams to where he needs to be? in time for us to get W's on the board. Because I really don't think Ben Johnson is the patient type. I really don't. I really don't. And I think they signed Tyson Bagent. I know this is giving a whole lot of fodder to a whole bunch of people that like Tyson Bagent. I don't care. I'm just speaking my heart. I believe they signed Tyson Bagent for an insurance policy. We're supposed to never see it. But if Caleb, I'd say somewhere in that second game, if he doesn't start turning the corner and getting more consistent, I don't think it's beyond Ben Johnson to sit his butt down with the idea that sitting you for a reason, watch, learn something, and when we put you back in there, be better. I don't think it's sitting them down and it's going to be permanently, you're going to be on the bench and this is the end for you here in Chicago. I don't think so. But, I do think certain quarterbacks fare better when you get a taste of that humble pie. Maybe that's what he needs. But because I know one thing, we can't go forward with this kind of performance. We can't do that and win games. And if he can't do it, I'm not that much of a Caleb homer to be just like, okay, leave him in there and just let us struggle. I'm like, hell no. I want to get wins. And that means he sit his ass down, and he's sitting his ass down. Watch for a little while. I think fans should be prepared to accept that if that happens, because it's possible. Can't keep playing like that and getting wins, period. That's just my take on it. Let me get to a couple chats before we get out of here. Crimson said he thinks it went off the rails after that missed field goal. I've heard a couple other people say that too. I had to go back to that part of the game and see. Yes, absolutely, man. Too much hero ball. He went to default Caleb Williams, man. I'm telling you, Liberty. He went back to the old Caleb Williams, and he did not stay in structure. He did not stay in structure. Those are some good pockets that were created for him. He just wasn't on time, and he wasn't in structure. Ralph Love says 100 Nomad. I think he's weak. Remember, I ain't gonna destroy him like that, Ralph. I ain't gonna do him like that. Crimson said it's not about the QB. Football is a team sport. True indeed. It's hard for anybody like me to be arguing with that point, Crimson. I'll tell you this though. We will win or we will lose based on the consistency of Caleb Williams. That I can promise you. Yes, it is a team game. Everybody has to pitch in, all 22 on the offense and defense. Yes. But I guarantee you, we will win or lose based on the consistency of 18's performance. That's a guarantee. There's going to be times when the defense carries you like they did pretty much the first half, third quarter last night. But then that's not enough when you're on the field too much and the offense ain't sustaining drives. That's just not enough. He's got to get his part done and get it done with efficiency, period. So that's my take. Shout out to Ron Winarski that just jumped up in here. Let me see. Liberty's Outlook says, how effective was the defensive rotation? I thought it was pretty good, to be honest with you, Liberty. I thought last night, I'm glad that he started getting good rotation in early. I saw rotation probably mid-first quarter. I didn't expect to see it that early. But he started getting those guys in there and getting them some reps, got them a series or so. And that was good. That paid off a little bit better later on. But those guys were just winded. Those guys were winded. I can't blame them. You can't, if you playing defense for most of the game, man, it was times when I seen them over there on the sideline, had a good series, got the offense off the field, gave the ball back to the Bears offense. And seems like they didn't even get done getting watered up on the sidelines before the coach was like, hey, we got to get back in there. They're not even done getting watered up. And they got to get right back out there. They still breathing. So that's not gonna fare well in the grand scheme of things, period. And so your quarterbacks got to help out with that. This is the last thing I'll say before I get out of here. Another thing that was stark to me was how inefficient the running game was. And we talked about, the ineffectiveness of the interior offensive line. They were not that good in the run game. Pretty solid in the pass protection. But in the running game, don't be one of them people blaming DeAndre Swift for that. Don't, because it wasn't him. It wasn't him. The fact of the matter is they put too much of a workload on DeAndre Swift last night, number one. Number two is I don't think they feel comfortable with that running back room, something I've been highlighting and slapping the table about all off season. I didn't think they did a good enough job. So I'm gonna give you a little prediction. Since game one is out of the way, and I think they avoided getting a running back off of somebody's practice squad because they feel like, I think Kids broke this down the other day, or Bishop, somebody said this in the chat or something. But they pointed out, like, if they would have gotten somebody's running back off of a practice squad and signed him, he would have had to been put on the 53, and they'd have had to pay him for the whole year. This way, just waiting a week, you're going to get an opportunity to still get one of those running backs, and you'll have the opportunity to cut him later if he doesn't work out. And so my prediction for you is, I think sometime this week, I fully expect they should be making a move for a running back, whether it's on somebody's practice squad, whether they make a trade, whatever it is. I think they ought to make a running back move right now. I don't think this running back room is sufficient. There's a reason why you didn't see Kyle Monangai out there a lot. They just trusted him so far. Whenever you see what seemed like a capable rookie player not get on the field as much as he's supposed to, or as much as you think he should, that's because he doesn't know as much as he should yet. Now, I do think they trust him to an extent, because Ben Johnson said as much. But does he know all the stuff that he needs to know? Did he know this game plan down cold? Apparently he didn't, man, because they only, got him in there for a spell or two. And so that's an indicator that tells me that he didn't know all he was supposed to know for this week's plan. So maybe next week something's different and they give him more touches. Maybe Roshan gets healthy. We'd love to see that. But DeAndre Swift needs some help. And if those guys aren't where they need to be, expect the Bears to make a push on some running back, on somebody's practice squad, one of these young rookies that they probably should have drafted, a.k.a. Damian Martinez. I'm just saying. Or make a trade for somebody. I don't know. But they need to do something, in my opinion. But that's all I got for you guys today, man. I want to thank you all for being here. We'll do some more of this later on. As I start looking at the tape more and some stuff start to stick out to me more, I'll jump in here and give you guys some more content with the All 22. I definitely appreciate you for being here. Thank the new members, man. Y'all keep it coming. Love you guys and appreciate you a bunch. But I got to leave you with these famous words. If you can think it and you can see it, there's no reason in the world why you cannot absolutely manifest it. Do not, and I repeat, do not be a prisoner of your own mind. But with that being said, I am